There you go. So it's I haven't I've been quite busy lately. I haven't had time to do too many videos. So this video here is an investigation that I did today on behalf of Sterre. She's one of my selections for Mother of All Creation. So the top four runners are Olivia Rodrigo, who is grandmother's selection, then Tate McRae, who is my selection, personal selection, and then Princess Charlotte, who's grandfather's selection, and then Sterre, who's both grandmother and grandfather selection. And after learning today's story, is my selection. I do like our story that I'm about to present to you. So you're going to see a lot of information regarding her story, and I'm gonna So what I've been doing behind the scenes here is there's 8 parallel universes that you're aware of in our bodies. And in the brain universe, you have clones in the brain universe there. And those clones, I'm trying to communicate with them to be nice. You want to think of those clones of your body as being quantum entangled with the atoms in your body, and they can influence the electricity in your brain simply by thinking negatively. They can think that I'm Satan, or they can think that I'm Antichrist. And the minute those clones in your brain begin thinking that, that becomes a thought in your mind, and it could be detrimental to your chances of becoming the mythical creation. So I'm asking that you not jump on the bandwagon and say anything that will jeopardize your chances of becoming a mother. So when the aliens come here, you know, um, you have to fight hard to not say anything negative about me, and just let nature take its course, because there's going to be a trial process. The aliens have to present their case. I have to present my case. They just can't come over here and push their weight around. So there's a lot that has to happen. So um, just sit back. It may take a year, it may take a couple of years, a few years before you find out, everything that you need to find out. And then at the end of that, then you can make an informed decision. But if you shoot your mouth off right off the bat, because you you allow the thoughts in your mind to influence your decision, you could get yourself ejected out of the Miss Universe contest. Is what I'm about to show you here is those other ladies. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to show you. I can see the future and exactly what they're going to do. They're going to side with the aliens there, and you're not. So I'm going to fight hard for you as the mother because of what I've learned today. So I've invested since February, March, April, May, June, July. So I've invested 6 months into the relationship with Olivia's spirit. And I know that it's really going to go nowhere, because all those clones in the brain are going to influence the electricity in her consciousness down here and make her side with the aliens. So what I'm about to show you is the investigation I did today regarding our story. So I'm trying to position myself where I think I'm going to have the best chance of finding a wife. And if I don't convince those clones in the brain that I'm committed to you, they're not going to step up to the plate. So I know that the investigation here that the spirits of the other ladies are going to side with the aliens, but not you. If I decide to stand beside you, which is why I'm kind of taking a step back from the relationship that I've been pursuing with Olivia's spirit in favor of now pursuing you, because I think I have a better chance at success of getting your spirits to not influence the electricity in your brain but negativity, which means you might stand beside me when the crap hits the fan, so to say. So I'm gonna show you the story that I learned today. So this guy, I was just watching this, and this is like shoplifting thing, but here it's like this is a representation of Earth because it's green, but you'll notice how he's got a mustache like Hitler, and we all know what took place during World War II. See, so these aliens that come here, they're going to give Earth a fat head or a big head. A lot of people are going to side with them because they're going to see aliens who are claiming to be your mommy and daddy, and they're going to jump on that bandwagon and side with them. That's what that represents. Now, This is a song that I was playing. I wouldn't want to be me if I didn't have you. Sterre is basically the lyrics to this song. So here I'm pointing to that thing here. So you see those three dots? That's Olivia, Tate, and Charlotte. They're gonna, they're gonna cry when they find out that they sold themselves short by standing beside the aliens. That big O there, that's your eye, like your eye, and then that's an eyebrow. Okay, so that's you winning. The other lady's not winning. That slingshot that you see in the video, and those jars there, those jars, they represent these guys. One, two, three. So that's what those represent. Now the slingshot is right here. That's in her arm. That's a representation of Tate McRae because Tate is Canadian. She lives in Calgary. So this is an amusement park just outside of Toronto. So it's called Canada's Wonderland. So the slingshot there as a representation of Tate McRae believing in the story of David and Goliath through the slingshot. You wouldn't know that that's Tate, but that's what the slingshot represents through the Canada's Wonderland and the fact that she's from Calgary or Canada. She's going to side with David and Goliath. So, you broke me first. If you guys want to listen to that, it's basically about me taking a step back from this perceived relationship that I'm in with Olivia's spirit. Like it's strange. You hear me talk about it. Like when I'm talking about dating my cell phone, right? And I'm not committed. I'm not committed to her. I asked for her spirit's hand in marriage, and I guess she apparently accepted. But it's like it's a grand romantic gesture. There's nothing holding me to that grand romantic gesture. So I learned a lot today, and I learned that she's not really, her spirit doesn't really like to play ball with me, so to say. So that's if you want to listen to this, it's like you broke me first because I keep trying to convince your spirit to do the right thing, and that she keeps letting me down. So these past 9 lives, I've always got let down. So I don't want to pursue something where I know I'm gonna get let down again. So that's what that's about. You broke me first. If you wonder why I'm changing gears and shifting over towards Sterre, it's because, like I said, I need to put my eggs in a basket where I feel safe and comfortable. And the story you're about to learn is why I feel more safe and comfortable with her. Basically, it just means she's an ever she relates to the common people of planet Earth. She's the 99%, and everyone else is the 1%. Olivia's 1%, Tate's 1%, and Princess Charlotte's 1%. Whereas Sterre, she's she's the commoner. So the people of Earth can relate to her a lot easier. So this is the slingshot. Okay? So you can watch that there. That's Tate for the slingshot. So this here is this werewolf. His name is David. So she falls in love with the guy from An American Werewolf in London. His name is David. So when she goes to talk to the werewolf, she tries to help the werewolf. She says, "Let me help you, David." She says, "I love you, David." And she said, "David, they're going to unalive you, or KILLU." It's a representation of these guys, or the aliens coming here, and anyone who sides with them guys, which is half the planet, trying to get rid of me because they perceive me to be a monster or a werewolf, or a werewolf is a monster, or, Satan or whatever, what have you. That's what that represents through the slingshot. So when you watch that, you now know what that means. It's connected to that there, and people perceiving me to be a monster through his name being David and Goliath. Now this part here, she talks about driving myself to distraction here. This is the song, okay? If I didn't have you, driving myself to distraction until you got in my way. I was just whistling Dixie till you struck up the band and started to play. So, right here, Driving Myself to Distraction is that song there. So, you can now listen to that song as well before you put this one on. So, you listen to Driver's License first. And when you listen to If I Didn't Have You, you now know what that particular line is about. Driving myself to distraction. Like I'm pursuing something where I may not necessarily have the support required from that person. And it's like a distraction. Like it's not easy trying to find somebody here on planet Earth who can support me. I have people in my community here. Like I could ask people in the community to support me and marry me. But that's not what grandmother wants, because the issue is having to put a Caucasian mother into power because of people having broken hearts over, who the creators are, which are Native Americans. So if I put a Native American and the mother of all creation, it's gonna break the men's hearts of the three amigos. That's why grandmother wants to put a Caucasian into the power forever, is because it'll alleviate that situation. So I'm driving myself to distraction by pursuing something that might not necessarily have a payoff for me, because the way the spirits in the brain could influence her electricity. I could invest as much love as I want over there, and at the end of the day, the spirits in her brain will sabotage me. And when I get to where I need to get to, all those clones in Olivia's brain could influence the electricity, and then I'll get rejected by her. And then I'll get rejected by Sterre because I didn't invest time with Sterre when I should have invested time with Sterre to prove to those spirits that I care for her and that I'd like to see where this is going to go, because that way those spirits then might support Sterre and change the electricity in her brain and say, Anthony's a good guy. I want to see what happens with him. So I don't want to drive myself to distraction where I might possibly end up, being rejected. That's basically what it means. So this here, in the video here, you're going to see these fishes here. She steps over them. So those fishes, they're connected to Charlotte here. So if you watch this one here, like that one, you're going to see her playing around with these rocks. And right there, so those are like shells or rocks. So those represent the fishes right here in this particular scene. Okay, they represent that the Jesus fish. So if you watch that prior to watching the video, you'll understand what that represents there. You wouldn't know that these fishes represent that fish there. So now the thing with Charlotte is that I'd have to wait 12 years before I could pursue any avenues with her. But that's grandfather's choice. Like he likes Charlotte because she's comes from a royal upbringing, so she's like prim and proper, already a royal. So it's not that far of a stretch for her to be step into the role as the mother of all creation. That's why he selected her. So I can see why he selected her. He has his reasons. But the Jesus fish means that she's gonna side with the aliens and not me. So this is an American Werewolf in London, the subway chase. So you can watch that too as well before you go into the song, because it's connected to this here. There's the fish there. I haven't watched this. I don't know what this is about, but I'm creating like a movie for your mind. You're more than welcome to watch it, because this is about London here, okay? Underground chase. So you want to think of the werewolf chasing the man as somebody trying to chase me because they think I'm a monster or a werewolf. So that's the connection. Now this here is a boat. So that is a representation of Noah. So you can now watch this trailer and you'll get an understanding before you watch this video of what that little rowboat meant. After you watch that, This, it's connected to this part here. So that boat, that hand, that represents Olivia. Here, okay? You can listen to that if you like. Now, prior to this song, because it represents, there's a billions of people out there who are basically going to want me to, do that because they don't understand my side of things. They only understand everything that they've been taught. And then when somebody comes over here claiming to be somebody they're not and forcing me to play that role that they made in their stories, then I become the bad guy. And she's going to side with them. That's what that means. She's going to side with the people and aliens and not me. So next is this here. So you're going to see this in the water there. It's under the water. So that represents Sterre. If you look at these turbines, you can watch this video if you like. You just learn something. But if I was to draw from that tip down to that tip like that, and then over here from that tip over to that tip like that, and then up here from there to there, I'd have that triangle right there. So that triangle represents a wind turbine. And that's what this is here. So you need to watch this now. The Netherlands, polders and windmills, because that's where Sterre is from. So that represents windmills. And this is Sterre. That's you there because she's from the Netherlands where those windmills are. I like that part there because it's like, this is like the Santa Claus tree. I'm basically Santa Claus because I'm competing with that other guy born on the same day. So that represents Santa Claus or Anthony. That represents, her being my love. So if you only got to pick one, what would it be? Her, because she represents the commoners, like the common person. Although she's a social media influencer, she's not very big. She's not a big person. So I can see why Grandma and Grandpa have picked her as a selection. So that's you there, that underwater. So this is her here, Sterre. If you want to get some information about her. Now, the water aspect of that triangle, you need to watch this. So I want you to watch that. And then I want you to watch this, rivers of Jana, the rivers of Jana, milk, honey, and pure water. Okay? Because this has to do with water. That's to do with water. And when you're done that, I want you to watch this, that Moses parts the Red Sea, because that has to deal with water. After you watch all of that, I then want you to watch this, The Little Mermaid, because that deals with water. So this windmill underneath the water is a representation of the Little Mermaid. What it means is that I'm going to be drowning under 4 billion people who believe the aliens who have created theology around water, that, and that. So everyone will be putting their fingers and calling me something I'm not, and I'll be drowning under the water. So that's Sterre, the Little Mermaid. So when you watch that, that's what you'll see. He's drowning. So him drowning, that's me drowning there, and that's her right here saving me from drowning. So when you see that there, it's a windmill or Sterre saving me from drowning. So that's the connection to the Little Mermaid. So if we go here, next she's talking about you broke the rules. You went to the above world. So that's a representation of like an atom, that's a spirit, breaking the rules, basically siding or trying to change the electricity in Sterre's brain so that she won't side with the bad guys. She's going to side with me and protect me from drowning, in other words. And this is like the bad guy. So you went to the above world. in the brain. You help the entity, by siding with him, and that's basically what it means. So, a man was drowning. Theology was calling him this, calling him that, trying to get rid of him, and the aliens were trying to get rid of him. I had to save him. That's what it means there. So, the next is let's see where this goes here. So, if we're done the song part, okay. So, okay. So with that, now you can go back to that song because I'm going to get into a little bit more different story here. So now we go over to how is it now? Back to the song. So now you can watch that song because you now know what all those particular scenes are: the slingshot, the fish in a heart shape, the handprint on the back. Okay, the slingshot is Tate siding with the aliens. The Jesus fish is Charlotte, and the hand is Olivia, and that triangle is Sterre siding with me. So, so after you watch this one here, you can go and watch it. But I need you to come back after you listen to that song. I need you to come back to this Little Mermaid because there's a little bit more information here that is a segue into more information. So now this part here is like something about you seems different. Okay, so you need to look at the webbing back here. Okay, so there's it's almost like she's sitting on a hammock. So that webbing there, it's a representation of a hammock. Okay, so how to make a hammock. You don't have to watch that, but you can if you want. Just learn some information. But that hammock is connected to this song here. How's it going to be by Third Eye Blind? Where we used to laugh, there's a shouting match. So there's a shouting match between me and these aliens. I'm telling you that they're the bad guys, and they're telling you that I'm the bad guy. So there's a shouting match going on between me and the aliens. And it's sharp as a thumbnail scratch. So the thumbnail scratch is like on a chalkboard. If you had long nails and you went like that, it irritate the ears. So it's a representation of me trying to tell you that I'm the father of all creation. I'm here to teach you. Yet they come here in these big fancy UFOs, and everybody's like, "Wow, UFOs! Wow, look at the technology. They got to be the mom and dad of all creation, not that other guy." So they're trying to be the teacher, and I'm trying to be. So you got two competing people trying to be the teachers. But unfortunately, because I'm a man, I don't have long nails. I can't scratch the board. So that mother alien, she's gonna come here and scratch that chalkboard and say, "I'm your mother." Not that guy and not that girl that he's trying to say is the mother. That's what sharp as a thumbnail scratch means. A silence I can't ignore. So, like the hammock by the doorway. So, that hammock is a representation of Sterre opening the doorway to eternity. We spent time in Swings Empty. And that Swings Empty, that's Olivia. So when I tell you that if I pursue Olivia and the spirits in her brain don't want to play ball, it's going to get me nowhere. I'll spend all my time trying to convince these spirits that I care about her. And when I get to the finish line, she'll reject me because she sides with the aliens. And I'll have wasted my time. The reason why I'm siding with Sterre now is because of that triangle under the water. I'm being directed by grandmother to pursue her as a love interest instead because I'll have greater success. So she's standing by the doorway. That's what that means. That's the Little Mermaid is her saving me through the triangle under the water. So like the hammock by the doorway, we spent time in Swings Empty. So the swing is here. This was my original choice. And you've seen all the videos that I've uploaded about her, all the clues. But it's going to get me nowhere. So that's what the swing means. empty. So when I get to the finish line, she's not going to be in the swing. She won't be near me. She'll be siding with the aliens because of the handprint on the back of the boat or Noah's Ark. So I don't wanna spend all my time there just to get nowhere, because what I'm showing you with that triangle under the water, that's a big red flag to me. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to take a step back here. I know I've invested 6 months into this, but it's going to get me nowhere. So today I broke up with her spirit, and I said I can't do that. I gotta think of myself and the safety of mankind and all creation by pursuing Sterre, because the spirits up there, being a relative nobody, means I have a greater success in convincing those spirits that I care about Sterre. And when I see her as the mother, then those spirits are more than likely going to, put good thoughts in Sterre's mind and not negative thoughts, which allows me a greater chance of success. So I can't quite figure it out. I didn't. He says, she's got legs, you idiot. So when he says she's got legs, you idiot, I didn't put this in there because I took another picture because I got kind of sidetracked. But the legs part is basically about walking away. So that triangle under the water, this is something that I didn't add into the storyline, but I'm going to add it in there. I need you to watch. These boots are made for walking, because it basically means she's got legs. She can walk away. So I want you to watch that now by Nancy Sinatra, because it's a representation of. Come on, get out of there. It's a representation of her walking away. So it's like, she's got legs, you idiot. And, she's got legs that can walk away from what those guys are trying to, force feed you. So when you hear that in The Little Mermaid, she's got legs, you idiot, it means that Sterre can walk away. And part of that includes watching this Sterre. So when you watch this, or when people begin watching this, make sure you get a hold of her and say, watch this, and don't say anything that'll jeopardize your chance to be the mother. So walk away from the aliens. So next I want you to watch this here, James Halliday, Ready Player One, ending. So there's a connection to the story from a different perspective. So it's that dartboard here that you wouldn't know is the connection. So that dartboard, you can play called How to Play Around the World. So if you watch this, they'll tell you how to play around the world. That's the clue to that dartboard on the door. That door is connected back to this hammock by the doorway. This hammock means Sterre is standing by the doorway, and she can open the doorway to eternity. So, to understand around the world in 8 days, or around the world on this dartboard, you need to watch this trailer, Around the World in 80 Days. They do it via an air balloon. So these guys in an air balloon is a representation of a hot air balloon, how hot air balloons work. So you got aliens coming here pretending to be something they're not and filling your head with a bunch of hot air. That's what the clue is here, Around the World in 80 Days. So they're full of hot air. They're not real. It's all smoke and mirrors. But at the same time, because balloons deal with floating through the air on air currents, it's a representation of windmills. So you can watch that to learn a little bit. It's interesting. So picture these windmills going like that. Now picture a hot air balloon going past it like that, right? In those air currents, because that's the connection to that dartboard on the door. So around the world in 80 days in a hot air balloon is the connection to these windmills, because both of them utilize wind. So this is the beginning of that scene, and you'll notice here there's the dartboard, and then there's this big picture of Saturn, and there's a red button on the door. So This guy comes in and says, this is it. Come on. This is the button. If you push it, the whole simulation shuts down. And a tapeworm program. He talks about tapeworm program and erasing the backup servers. So if you push the button, that means like he talks about pushing that red button. It means don't push my buttons. If you push my buttons and you side with those aliens that come here, you've heard me in previous videos, who they are, what they're about. If you side with them, I'm gonna reject you. I don't want to be with somebody who sides with those aliens. It's that simple. And I've just shown you that the three ladies that are at the top of the list are gonna side with the aliens with the exception of Sterre. So, don't push my buttons is basically what he means here. This button. I says, come on, this is the button. If you push it, you push my buttons by siding with them and saying things you're going to regret, then I'm not going to select you. That's what the button is. So a tapeworm program will erase all the backup servers. So you three ladies who are going to side with the aliens are my backup servers. And if you side with them, then you side with something that I'm not in agreement with. And you're sticking up for something that I've said in previous videos not to stick up for. And I don't want to be with somebody who sticks up for that stuff. It's horrible. It's nasty. So you don't have the power to turn off the Oasis forever. Meaning you don't have the power to turn yourselves off from being a Miss Universe contest. Do you understand, ladies? So there's the dartboard, there's a door, there's the button. Don't push my buttons, and this is Saturn. You understand, ladies? So then he shows this egg. That egg is a representation of me having to impregnate somebody. But unfortunately, there's a lot of work that has to be done with that. We're in a war with these aliens. We have to go out. We have to develop technology to destroy their civilizations. There's two ways we can win. We can go out and destroy their civilizations with advanced railguns, which I've touched on lately. We develop the spaceships, so we go out and get rid of them because I can't. It's not as easy as impregnating Sterre and getting rid of them because they've got all kinds of babies out there. They use my clone body to impregnate basically every woman on planet Earth, so that I can't get somebody pregnant as a pure creator god. It's like a Trojan horse, Like if I impregnate Sterre, and they've already got millions and millions of Sterre babies out there from our two clones having babies together. Imagine a million clones out there all having being created from me and Sterre together. Suddenly, as me and Sterre are having our baby of our own as pure creator gods, our baby would be the same baby that's out there in 8 million or 8 universes times a million babies. There's 8 million babies that have already been produced by two clones of me and her. And when that happens, it's like it could be a Trojan horse in a way. Evil is trying to take over creation through our baby and its spinal cord pop into existence, connected to all those atoms of those evil clones out there, and it causing catastrophe. So it's not as easy as just knocking her up. No, we have to go out there and eliminate every single evil civilization out there before I can impregnate her. So that's what the egg represents. We can't, that's a long story or a short story of why I can't, we can't get her pregnant right away because there's a risk of there being many millions of clones of a baby that we've already had. They've cloned me and they've made me knock up every girl on planet Earth as a way for me to not destroy them by impregnating them because it's too risky. So we can't win by a pregnancy. We have to go out there and destroy them the old-fashioned way, which is using highly advanced railguns. Which I'll talk about later. So this is Mr. Halliday. Something I don't understand. So he's opening the door there, and there's that dartboard there, okay? So there's the song there. Did I ask you to go back and listen to the song? I don't know if I did or not. So you can go back and listen to that song now because I asked you to hold off for a bit. You should be able to understand now what those four, the slingshot, the fish on the floor, the handprint, and then the white triangle in the water. It's the four ladies. So this here is like only girl at the skate park. So the clues from that video here indicate that she's going to be the only one to save me through the Little Mermaid clue because of me being under the water by the boat in this video, the rowboat. She's the white triangle. She's under the water with me trying to save me. So she's the only girl at the skate park. This here is like goodbye, Parzival. That's like that's me saying goodbye to this girl that I've been pursuing for 6 months thus far. I put 6 months into this relationship. Behind the scenes, you're trying to win over her spirit. But I with that song, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. What would you do if you seen what I showed you? The slingshot is Tate, and the fish is Charlotte, which represents Jesus fish, and then the hand represents Noah's Ark, and then the only one out of the four selections is the triangle under the water, which is me and Sterre. So it's quite obvious that I'm not going to get any support if I pursue those other three relationships, which is why I'm pursuing this other avenue. So that's me saying goodbye. Goodbye, Olivia. Or goodbye, Parzival. Thanks. Thanks, Olivia. Thanks for playing my game. So there's the door. It's open. So the dartboard is connected to Around the World in 80 Days, which is connected to hot air balloon going around the world in 80 days, which is connected to windmills, which utilize wind. So the wind that goes around the world is the wind that the Netherlands harness to move their windmills, which means that dartboard represents Sterre opening the door. So there she is there. They said, what about me? So she's being facetious, I think that word is like the aliens are going to say something negative about her, probably. So, this is karma, okay? So, next you want to watch this video here, Karma, by Taylor Swift. The part I want you to pay attention to takes place right around here. You're going to see this here. Do you see how that I don't know where that's on. Oh, there. Okay. That there, and that there. Okay. So this here is kind of like silver. This is gold. This is Olivia, the moon. And this here is Sterre. But it can also represent those other ladies. But for now, I'm just going to use it as Sterre. So this is silver, this is gold. So there's the moon, okay? So you can listen to this song here. You can listen to this now. And after you listen to that, you can go back to Karma, and you get a better understanding of what the moon represents. It represents, an option here. Me to go that way, where I'm not gonna get gold if I go that way, because that's a silver rope. I need to get gold, and she's holding gold over here, so I need to go that way. So after 6 months of pursuing this girl's spirit, I've made the choice to stop that and pursue this other avenue, because I think they're going to have greater success there. But who knows? Perhaps me pursuing Sterre might change the opinion of these other ladies' spirits in their brain, and all four of them might smarten up and not say anything nasty about me. If that's the case, well, then, I'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it. So what you're looking at here is, you see the planet, how it looks like a ball bearing? So it represents a ball bearing. And that ring represents like a ring, a ball bearing. So they put, inside of these things here are balls, which is that there, and then there's a ring there. So that ball bearing represents Sterre from a skateboard. Ball bearing, and there's the ring that you're looking at there. So you can watch that so you can understand what that means. So, me and Karma, we vibe like that. So, second place, first place. Ball bearings, skateboards, second place. So this is it. Come on, this is the button. If you push it, the whole simulation shuts down, right? So don't push the buttons. So this is Hubasteg, the reason. You watch this video now. Now, in the beginning here, it's like, I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to start over new. And that reason is that little mermaid on there. So, you see it there? It's a blonde mermaid that represents Sterre. Although the Walt Disney live action version uses an African American mermaid, the story represents Sterre. That's why it's a blonde mermaid coming to my rescue. So this mystery of the deep, you need to know. There's the Little Mermaid again. So you might want to watch this trailer again before you go into this song, because when you watch the song, you'll now know what that mermaid on the banner represents. It represents Sterre, being the Little Mermaid here, because of the boat or the white triangle underwater from the Amanda Marshall song. So there's the mystery of the deep there, and there's the blonde. She's blonde, and she's blonde. So who is your love? I'm leaning towards her because the clues of this story that I'm telling you indicate it's her. So now we go over to here. This is the Wonka Tonka, the Great Mystery, right? So it's like the mystery part here is mystery of the deep or great mystery. So you can listen to that lady if you like, or this one here. This is probably better understanding of what the great mystery is. But that's what they call it, Wonka Tonka. But the Nishnah Beck also called it the great mystery, or Gitche Minido, which means the great mystery. So it basically means the creator. The Native Americans believe in spirituality. They call it the great mystery because they know something out there exists that created everything, and it's a mystery to them. That's what they call it, the great mystery. They can't really explain spirituality until now on the theological stage because they don't understand the science behind it until now. So that's the great mystery. So it means that she's the great mystery. She can be the mother of all creation. That's what it means. So, and the reason is you. You, Sterre. And all the pain I put you through. So, let me go over here. So, this is how he takes the banner down. When he takes the banner down, it says, it's like a safe. So there's a safe there. So that's her. So you take the banner down. Sure, double flip bear, Sterre bear. It represents being safe and sound. I believe I have a better success rate with her because her not being as famous as the other ladies in the selection process. Safe and sound. So that's just the song I put on there. You're more than welcome to listen to it because it's connected to Lucky here. Lucky. So how did I get so lucky? Well, it's a long story. It has to do with me being the time police, meaning I could control time here. Because at the beginning of creation, me being who I was, if I was to be who I was, I'd be too nice. I wouldn't be able to be kind of the person I am now because I come from this planet of being good and bad. If you gotta rewind time to go arrest somebody, you have to be bad to do it because you may have to punch the shit out of them, or you may even have to do them harm, because if they get rid of somebody. So as the time police, that's why I got so lucky. And at the same time, I'm lucky because I come from a society where the broken-hearted men of the Three Amigos, they're so used to being, having a white leader that's what grandmother wants to give them, is a Caucasian mother, so that they can, move forward forever with that understanding. That's how I got lucky. I'm the time police who gets to marry a white creator to mend the Three Amigos' broken hearts. So, and be the one who catches all your tears. So, so it's purple there? So, I wonder who that is. And the reason is you. So, this is Stop and Stare. This means, Sterre, because that's her name. Sterre, which means star. So, this means stop and star. Stop and star. And the reason is you. So, after you listen to the reason, you can listen to it now. You know what the mermaid is about, and the song is about me finding a reason in her to start over, start new. With the understanding that I might have a greater success in convincing all the spirits in her mind to think positive thoughts about me. So we're going to listen to this one next, Stop and Stare. So at the beginning, you're going to see this here, phone ringing over whistling wind. So that wind, that's her. When you hear the wind at the beginning of the video, that's you, Sterre, because you come from a place where you use wind for power, or to help your society. So that grave is a representation of me. That's me. Okay. There's the door, so that's like the dartboard. Now, depending on who I pursued, that door would close. If it's one of the other three ladies, I believe the door is going to close, and that's what has happened in probably many past lives. So there he is, standing at the grave, and he turns around, because there's two of them there. But you see that tree there? This was filmed in Joshua Tree National Park. That's where they filmed it. That's an hour and 47 minutes away from Olivia's home over here. She lives in Temecula. Here, that's where she lives, Temecula. Okay. So Temecula. So that area there, that grave being in that area, what that means is, and really easy to understand terminology, is if I pursue that lady who lives near Joshua National Forest, an hour and 47 minutes away from it, I'm going to end up in that hole. And the door's going to be closed. So that's why he turns around. So right here, that's me. If I stay on my current course and pursue this, and not let Sterre's spirits know that I'm interested in her, I could end up in that grave like past lives. So I'm turning around and walking away to choose Sterre, or Sterre, because that's how you pronounce it. Sterre means star. So that's me walking away now. So when you hear the song, it's like, I've got my heart set on anywhere but here. This is Joshua National Forest, right? So, or park. It's a representation of, I've got my heart set on anywhere but, Temecula, right here. Because it's not going to end well for me. That's what it means. So I've got my heart set on anywhere but here, which is by proximity means there, right? So steady hands, just take the wheel. So you would think that means here, right? Like steady hands, take the wheel. It can mean that, but only if, there's certain things that have to take place, such as, not siding with the bad guys when they come here, and not talking trash. So, So it can go that way, but it's more likely going to go this way because this has a wheel. This is like a wheelhouse. There's a big wheel in there. So when you watch this one here, you'll understand what the steady hands just take the wheel means here. So steady hands just take the wheel. I used to believe meant that wheel. It doesn't mean that. It means this wheel here. These timbers have stood strong since the 1600s. So there's a big wheel right there. There's a big wheel here. There's the big wheels here. So this whole thing's on like one big traffic wheel, and these are wooden wheels, and the whole tower moves on those wheels. It slides on these wooden roller bearings, and all the wooden cogs connect. So there's another big wheel. So there's all kinds of wheels in that windmill. So steady hands just take the wheel means steady hands just take that windmill, or steady hands take Sterre is what it really means, and not the driver's license lady. So I saw this here as I was scrolling down. So I thought, wow, Jerry's proposal, love. So I'm going to put that on for her, I thought. So that there part here is like, you have me at hello. So when Jerry Maguire walks in, he says, I'm looking for my wife. Hello, I'm looking for my wife. Then he does this big speech, and she tells him at the end, like, just shut up. You have me at hello. So I'm looking for my wife. I'm looking for someone to marry her. I've narrowed it down to 4 selections at the top, but there's a lot more than that. I could, marry any girl practically. So when you watch this, the reason I'm putting it on there is because of that there. It's like Jerry's proposal. You can watch that. I've never watched it before. I don't know what it's about, but I'm assuming he proposes to her there. I'm assuming. So this part here is like, I'm looking for my wife, whom is Sterre, because of the story I'm showing you. So after you watch those 2 videos, you can watch Ghosted here. Okay, this is typically what I do behind the scenes here is, I when I'm asking a spirit to go out with me, I put this on. So I say, so these are all the spirits in her head. So imagine there being a million clones in her brain, all walking around as either androids, or just basically they have a neural link in the brain, or they're humans who have put their souls inside of her body, and they're walking around. There's a million of them. Each of those million bodies of Sterre, those atoms in her body are spirits. So those spirits that are in the brain universe can influence the electricity of her atoms, because those atoms are the same in the brain as the same down here, and there's a quantum entanglement with her brain. And if you have all 1 million of those clones thinking negatively, like, hey, that guy's Satan, then she's gonna think I'm Satan. So I'm trying to, convince them, not to be nice. So when this is typically what I do. So I've already asked her out once already. It's like, I was just wondering if you wanted to do. I'll go get some go out sometime. And then she says, "Do I get coffee?" And he's like, "Now?" And she's like, "Yes, now." So when you put that on, that's basically me asking you, Sterre, if you want to go out sometime for coffee. Just hang on. When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be by her. And then he starts talking. Her name is Sadie. I know this sounds crazy, but I think she might be the one. So she might be the one that stands beside me. All the people on planet Earth, she might be the one that doesn't say bad things about me. So who goes along with it? She really is great. You'll see. So this is still the trailer. So after you watch that trailer, the part I want you to focus on is the coffee. So this little banter at the beginning is the most important. I was just wondering if you want to go out sometime, Sterre. You want to get a coffee? Now? Yes, now. That's all you need to pay attention to, really. So that coffee part is connected to this Sterre, because star in Dutch means Sterre, or Sterre. Starbucks is what it means. So that's you on the coffee cup. That's you, Sterre, there. So you can watch that video. I haven't watched it. I don't know what it's about, but I can obviously tell that people are going to think that this is some kind of magic, and it's not magic. It's a long story. It's science. There's science behind it. What's going on here? So you see up here, this is my shed out front here. Okay, so that's a coffee roaster there. I haven't been able to finish my dream of roasting coffee because for the past 10 years I've been too busy trying to save all creation. So go in there. There's another close up of it there. Okay, so you put the beans in here. That's the roaster, and you dump them out there. So that thing's worth like $35,000, and it just sat there, and now it's useless because I haven't been able to use it. So I had a dream to roast coffee, as you've heard me talking in the videos probably. So the fact that I've had a dream to roast coffee, and your name is Star, and there's a connection to Starbucks coffee, that's you. There's a connection there that I don't have with the other ladies to that coffee. So this here is my son's stand-up paddleboard, and that's another clue, because that stand-up paddleboard, you can see it there. Oops. There's the coffee machine. There's a stand-up paddleboard. So that stand-up paddleboard is connected to her because she's she's also a windsurfer. There's two clues in that building there, Sterre. This is the coffee roaster here, the Diedrich coffee roaster. So Diedrich. So this is Diedrich. 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 So this is Sterre, which means a star. Sterre, star. So Starbucks. Starbucks means Starbucks. Okay. Starbucks. So this is Starbucks, or Starbucks. That's a clue. She's the only one that has that connection to the coffee in my coffee roasting business. So there's Sterre there, a star. So I want you to watch this here now. David's Disturbing Dreams in American World from London. So it starts out, his name is David, remember? David's Disturbing Dreams. So anyhow, he's running through this forest and he comes across these two deers. These deers are associated with Starbucks. These are two deers, but they're not bucks. So here's a awesome white-tailed deer buck and doe. So that's what that represents, her and I, because Starbucks. Buck hanging out. So this bigger one, and that smaller one. So that's the connection. You wouldn't know that those deers in that particular scene is a representation of you, Sterre, unless you knew the connection to Starbucks or Starbucks. So David comes in and he attacks that deer, and he harms it, and he eats it like that. And it's a representation of people thinking that I'm like a werewolf or a monster because he hurt that deer. And then here, but because there's two deers, it's a representation of me pursuing one of these ladies for the past 6 months, only to realize that I think I may not be getting anywhere with that relationship. So I better start over here before I begin to go viral with my story, so that I'll have a better chance of success of getting this other girl than the other one. So that's the two deers. So one of those deers is a relationship that's gone sour, in other words. So this is what you're about to learn here. So that's a representation of me in the forest. So that's my first selection. I've been all the videos that you've seen about her, right? And that's her there. So that's who that represents in the particular scene, because that's who I was pursuing. But I've come to the realization that I think it may not be work out in my best interest, depending on what the spirits in her head make her think. If the spirits in her head make her think I'm Satan or whatever, then that's what she's going to think about me. And I can tell with this particular scene that that's what's going to happen. So there she is there, like, smiling, maybe people telling her that she could be the mother, and then, bam, what? That guy's Satan, he's bad or whatever. So she's going to associate me with being like a monster. And there goes my chances. So if I pursue this for, let's say, another 6 months and not Sterre, then I could end up with nobody, because she's going to perceive me to be a monster. And because I didn't invest in time in the relationship with Sterre, her spirits and her brain are not going to see that I care about her, and I'll end up with nobody. So I can tell that if I pursue Olivia, that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to get anywhere with it. She's going to think I'm the Antichrist. So you can watch that if you don't know anything about what he is about. And you can watch this one here, the hidden biblical story of how Lucifer became Satan, because that's what it represents. Among other things, such as spiritual warfare. So, having seen that particular scene, when you come back to this here, I want you to go to the Starbucks coffee website, or look up Create a Connection at Starbucks here, right? Connection and kindness uplifts us all. So this is the Starbucks website, or YouTube page. I want you to go into their videos, Starbucks coffee videos, and then go to watch these two here. Connection. Because I'm looking for connections there. And having shown you that werewolf thing, it would appear as though the person that I've been pursuing, that you've been probably watching on my YouTube channel, is not the person I should be focusing on. You're the person I need to be focusing on. So that's what the connection is about here. Can I get a connection with you? So at the beginning, he's drinking an espresso. So it's a representation of me trying to get a connection with Starbucks through the coffee. This year's, if you want to watch that, Analyzing Willem Dafoe, American Psycho, it represents the girl who sings So American, thinking I'm a psycho as well. Like when these guys come over here and just tarnish my name, or you guys learn the extent of what really took place here in this bedroom, spiritual warfare, she's gonna think I'm a psycho, and that's another reason why she doesn't want to get with me, because she doesn't understand what I'm about. So that's, you now watch that before you watch that video. I want you to watch this one here, because it's another reason. The monster in the werewolf scene in the woods, where she's the nurse, she's gonna think I'm a psycho as well. So if I pursue that for another 6 months and it doesn't bear fruit, and I don't start pursuing Sterre, which could bear fruit, I'll be up Sheet Creek without a paddle. So you can watch that, because you now know what it means, right? So American. So this song here, So American, is connected to American Psycho, meaning she thinks she's going to think that I'm a psycho, because of that, the way that she comes in as a nurse, looking on the bed and going. So maybe I should try to find old me. Take me to the places and the people that know me. If there's so many people here, then why am I so lonely? There's billions of girls out there, but why am I so lonely? Can I get a connection? Sterre, can I get a connection, please? So now I want you to watch this here. I'm going to need a giant size coffee. Okay, so Starbucks. There's Tall, Grande, Venti, and Trende, or whatever. So I want you to focus on that name there, Grande, because it's connected to Ariana Grande. As she's sitting on top of the world there, you wouldn't know that represents you through that name, Grande, because of Starbucks or Starbucks and my coffee roasting business that I've yet to start. So you now can listen to that song. After you listen to that song and listen to that lady talk here, because this song is about, Sterre being the mother creator, who was a woman. who's now on top of the world. So you now listen to the Carpenters, top of the world, because that's you. You're gonna be on top of the world. Is Grande or Starbucks. So after you listen to that, I want you to watch this here coffee shop SNL. Okay. So he's like, you're telling me that I was just drinking a delicious cup of Domenico's coffee with my new wife, and a bunch of puds walk out with burger coffee, and now you're telling me we were we were what did you say he's talking about the burger coffee. Okay, so the new wife is me pursuing Sterre as opposed to Olivia, because in my previous videos you heard me talk about Olivia being the one that I was supposed to pursue. But things have changed, they've shifted thanks to today's investigation. So the new wife is Sterre, and she's blonde, and this is a coffee skit. So because it's a coffee skit, she's a representation of Starbucks. Because I'm opening up a coffee roasting business, that's her. It's not Olivia, it's her through the coffee association that we both share. So I'm a Domenico's girl. My new wife is a Domenico's girl. Sure, but the coffee is BK Joe, and get this, it costs just $1.99. He's like, $1.99. You better take that back, you pervert. That's what he says to him. He's like, whoa, there's no need for that. So the pervert part is people thinking that, that's me. I'm something that I'm not. Because they're going to come here with some stupid chumped up tape that's going to make you think that. If they could come here in UFOs and, mankind can create these awesome movies that look realistic, you can't tell now what's a fake background and what's real because it looks that good. If mankind can come up with a movie that looks, realistic using technology, imagine what aliens could create with UFO technology. So you can't believe everything that they shove down your throats. So that's what it represents. They're coming here to discredit my name and call me something I'm not. So that's the aliens calling me that, and that's me defending myself. You better take that back, you dummy. So no, well, there's no need for that. You fed my new wife Sterre this garbage, huh? This burger juice. He's not talking about the coffee anymore. Okay. The garbage represents, how dare you, a day after her wedding. So we'll get to that in a moment, the wedding part, but you came here the day after your wedding? I can't believe I drank that burger coffee. So that Sterre, right? She's like, I can't believe I believe that stuff from that book that they made me read. That's what it means. I can't believe I drank that burger coffee. To understand what burger coffee means, you have to understand that she's talking about, that little black book where you go to listen to in these buildings where you're sitting in the pews. I can't believe I believe that stuff in that book. That's what it means. But you wouldn't understand that. You have to see the burger connection. So understanding the burger connection, you now have to watch this. After you watch that, watch this. Ezekiel 25:17. Samuel L. Jackson. Because she's actually talking about the burgers in here where he talks about Ezekiel. So what she means is, I can't believe I believed in that burger juice. I can't believe I believed in that burger juice is what it means. I can't believe where's this one go? You fed my new wife this burger juice, this garbage. So he's talking about feeding my wife, lies and their stories that they fabricated and the garbage they wrote. This burger juice, that's what it means. So, oh my God, I think I'm gonna be sick. So she's like, she thinks she's gonna be sick because of, the deception that she was put through by these lying aliens that come here pretending to be something they're not. So here's like, you know who we are? We're associates of your business partner, Marcellus Wallace. So he's basically talking about me. You know who we are. We're business partners of your partner, Anthony Coggy, the creator. You do remember your business partner, don't you? There's a ship there, so it's basically these guys coming in the ships pretending to be something they're not. So you remember your business partner, Anthony Coggy, right? Don't you? Aliens? Looks like me and Vincent got you boys at breakfast. Right? So, sorry about that. What you having? Hamburgers. Hamburgers! The cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. That's the part you need to pay attention to, because that hamburgers is connected back to the burger juice. Like, you fed my wife this burger juice? You fed my wife this burger juice? What kind of hamburgers? Cheeseburgers. No. Where'd you get them? McDonald's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, where? Big Kahuna Burger. Big Kahuna Burger. That's that Hawaiian burger joint. I hear they got some tasty burgers. I ain't never had one. How are they? They're good. You mind if I try one of yours? This is yours right here. Yeah. This is a tasty burger. Vincent, you ever had a Big Kahuna Burger? Ain't hungry. So, you need to pay attention to that. Smarter investing starts here. So, that's the Big Kahuna Burger. And, the garbage that the coffee scene. You fed my wife this garbage. That's what it means. Want a bite? They're real tasty. Ain't hungry. If you like burgers, give them a try sometime. Me, I can't usually get them because my girlfriend's a vegetarian. So there's my new girlfriend. We just started today. We're starting out today, right, Sterre? So I like the way her cute face looks there. Because she gets the story, right? So, she's learning. Like, when you watch this, Sterre, you're like learning these big flips. Like, the big flips is you learned about your name being in the name for Miss Universe contest, right? You knew Tate was there, you knew Olivia was there, you knew Charlotte was there. But now there's been this big flip. You watch this video, it's like, oh my God, he's dumping that Olivia in favor of me. So that's learning the big flips. We're flipping. You find it kind of cool. So that's what that means there. So, me, can't usually get it because my girlfriend's a vegetarian. So, which pretty much makes me a vegetarian. But I do love the taste of a good burger. I was talking about, I do love the taste of a good, story, such as Native American spirituality, and not that other story. Do you read the Bible, Brett? Yes. Well, there's this passage I got memorized, so that fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. So, these guys are coming here pretending to be something they're not, and they're evil. I'm telling you that, I may not be a perfect specimen of a person, but I'm an honest person, and an honest person can be trusted. I have nothing to hide whatsoever, and I'm willing to go toe to toe on the worldwide stage and duke this out in court for how many years it may take to prove my innocence. And at the end of that, you will find out that these people coming here are actually evil, and they're not good. So that verse is about me, trying to protect you from them. So blessed is the one who, in the name of charity and goodwill. So charity means, the People's Corporation of Canada, where we collectively buy all the corporations of mankind using your tax dollars because of settling universal peace or mankind peace by starting the People's Republic of Canada, which is goodwill. So this here is the People's Corporation of Canada, where we buy all the corporations of planet Earth so that 100% of us own everything together. This is the goodwill. This is the People's Republic of Canada, where we had still only females across all the political aspects of the world, where every mayor, every council member, everything is run by females. That's goodwill. But they have a plan for that already. They call that the Antichrist, because that's what he's supposed to do. So they've already thought of that. That's what that represents. Their plan is to call me the Antichrist. So shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. So, you guys are weak. You don't know what's really going on here and how to protect yourselves. So I'm trying to shepherd you through the valley of darkness, but they're going to come here and tell you the opposite thing. For he is truly his brother's keeper. So these guys come in here. I'm his keeper, not the other way around. And the finder of lost children. So you guys are lost. You don't know what's real and what's not real. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. So they're coming here to try to get you on those UFOs so they can get rid of you and destroy you. I told you that in previous videos. Don't get on those UFOs. You won't be coming back alive. And you will know my name is the Creator when I lay my vengeance upon thee. So that's what the burger scene is about. So when you go back and you watch the burger scene, you fed my wife this burger juice. That's what it represents, being fed lies. So now we're going to look at this here. This is the fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. It's my shaft, in other words, which is the key. But as I said before, we can't get pregnant right away because there's too many clones out there of her and I already that have babies. There's even clones of me and Olivia that have babies. There's clones of me and Tate McRae that have babies. There's even clones of me and Charlotte, because out there, because they've been out there for 200,000 years, they've let Charlotte's clone grow up. So, they've had, there's babies that be Charlotte of a clone, probably 16, 17, 18-year-old Charlotte that they've used to create babies. Every female on planet Earth they've used me to have a baby with. So although my shaft is the key, I can't impregnate anybody because it's too dangerous. So we have to get rid of these guys the good old-fashioned way with war. She is the star or Sterre that had fallen from the sky to the earth. So falling from the sky to the earth represents falling out of theology or Christianity, because there's an association with the afterlife being in the clouds. So, and the fifth angel sounded. So there's atoms, there's quarks, there's the soul particle, there's space, and then there's time. So the fifth angel, who is time, which is me, because that star is time, that's the fifth particle, the star. The fifth angel, Anthony, who's grandfather time, sounded his trumpet. And I saw a Sterre named Mare that had fallen from Christianity to the earth. The Sterre, or the star, Sterre Mare, was given the key to the shaft. Down below. That's what it means. So, next you can watch this here. This is Stardust, or Stardust. Okay, so, Tristan, a shooting star. He talks about, I crossed the wall and I bring you back that one star. That one star. You can't cross the wall. Nobody crosses the wall. So to understand what that means, you have to look at this here, the Western Wall. So watch that there, the Western Wall. And then when you go back and watch the beginning, the wall is a representation of the aliens coming here pretending to be the mom and dad of the people of the Western Wall. There's going to be UFOs all around here, and they're going to claim to be the mom and dad of the Western Wall. And that nobody on planet Earth can cross them. You can't cross those aliens who claim to be the mother and father of the Western Wall. Nobody crosses those aliens who are the mother and father of the Western Wall. That's what it means, subliminally. So, I'd cross the wall, bring you back that star. You can't cross the wall. Nobody crosses the wall. So then he crosses the wall. It's like, excuse me, have you seen a fallen star anywhere? We're in a crater. This must be where it fell. So the fallen star is from Revelation 9:1. It's Sterre. She's the fallen star. Sterre. She had a girl weekend, so she's the star. Yeah, this is where I fell. You're the star? You're the star, really? From Revelation, you're that star. Yeah, she's that star, guys. That's what it means. So, yeah, this is where I fell. You're the star? You're the star? Really? That's the star from Revelation. Falling from Christianity to spirituality is what it means. So, and the fifth angel sounded, and his trumpet, and I saw a star that falling from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. You now know what that means. So, you can watch that trailer. Then after that, you watch A Star is Born. Because that means a Sterre is born. Who's Sterre Mayer? Who's her? She's about to be born soon. Almost every single person has told me they liked the way it sounded, but they didn't like the way it looked. So that's not her, that's me. Almost every person on planet Earth says they like the way it sounded, but they don't like the way I look. Meaning, they're not going to like the way, I wage spiritual warfare back here because it's, they don't understand the concept. And it does paint me out to be, not an upstanding citizen, let's just say that. But, if you can get past that baggage there, you're going to go far. And then I think you're beautiful, meaning, she's going to think that I'm broken and I'm, bruised, and that's what that means. Like, I'm broken and I'm bruised. So she understands, and then she's like, I'm going to let Anthony explain to me what really took place, why he did what he did. So she's going to let me explain, and she's going to understand why I'm broken and bruised. And then she's going to find me beautiful and not ugly. So then he says, hey. And she turns around and says, what? So he says, hey. She says, what? So, hey. And she turns around and says, what? I just want to take another look at you. So that's me wanting to take another look at Sterre. So, you're more than welcome to watch one of these videos here, but it's me just taking another look at her. And that's typically what I do here in my behind the scenes show. I put this scene on, and I usually go to one of these videos and I take a look, and then I go back and I do it again. I usually do it 3 times. Like I'll go back and I'll hit the 10-second rewind, and then I'll say, hey. She says, what? I just want to take another look at you. Then I'll come back and look at another video here. So I'd probably look at this one the first time, and then I'd go back into that video and I'd hit the 10-second rewind, and it'd be like, hey, what? I just want to take another look at you. Then I'd come over here and watch that video. I usually do that 3 times. So, this is the end here, end of the trailer. So, after you watch that, A Star is Born, or Sterre is Born, you can watch this, A Shooting Star, Bad Company. So, from 6 and 10. So, I'm telling you that these guys coming here, they're bad company, and not to side with them. And it's coming from 6 and 10. So this is Highway 10, okay, right here, which transitions into Highway 6 here. 6 and 10. So there's 10, there's 6. And then 6 transitions over here. This is Highway 6 here. And this is Highway 6, it goes down. 6 and 10. This is own sound. So it's just outside of my house lives down here about it takes you about half hour to hit the one sound. So this is a local city. So 6 and 10. What that means is, from the creator at 6 and 10, those guys are bad company. Don't side with them. That's what it means. But they're going to tell you that I'm bad company. But I'm telling you from there, like from Highway 6 and 10, that they're bad company. Don't hang with them. So Shooting Star. So, yes, this is my cousin, Johnny King. He passed away from overdose. The story is his uncles, Rick and Irwin. So Irwin was living on the West Coast, and he met my uncle William in Vancouver, and they became best friends. And my aunt Rosaline, who lives in Toronto, befriended Rick King, and they became best friends. So my aunt and uncle met 2 brothers, and they became best friends. my aunt and Rick and Irwin and William across the country like that. And they met each other. And when my grandma found out that they met them, they introduced them to Glenda, who's Johnny's mom. So the three of them siblings, my grandma thought it was a miracle or a blessing that my uncle living in Vancouver met Irwin and befriended him, and then my aunt living in Toronto befriended Rick, and they became best friends. And then they introduced them to Glenda, and so my grandmother liked that story, so she adopted them in terms of taking them into the family. As she didn't literally do the adoptive paperwork. She just said, these are our new family. These are our new brothers and sisters. They're family. So they became family, instant family, because of that story. So there's four pictures on it because this represents a change down here. Do you see down here? How there's a spinning thing here? So this big one here used to be Olivia Rodrigo. Then this was Tate McRae. Then this was Princess Charlotte, and this was Sterre. It's now changed. This is you, Sterre. You're the biggest one on top, right? Then this would be Olivia, then Tate, then Charlotte. So this is Jonathan passed away suddenly in Toronto. Okay, age of 35. You can have a read of that if you like. Notice how it says Noah here. There's a connection there, and something. So my cousin Johnny is connected to the Shooting Star song. So Johnny was a schoolboy. It means Anthony was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. So the fact that his name is Johnny King, these guys are going to come over here and pretend to be the king of all creation when they're not. I'm the king or the chief of all creation. So Johnny King means Johnny Chief. We use chiefs, right? They use kings. So they're going to claim to be the king. I'm telling you, I'm the chief. So Johnny King or Johnny Chief. So Johnny Chief was a schoolboy, or Anthony Chief was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. Let Me Do, I think it was. From there, it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every day. Now he's in a rock and roll outfit and everything's all right. Don't you know? So, Johnny told his mama, or Anthony, the chief of all creation, told his mama, hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time. Going to be a big star someday, or big star someday. Okay, so this was the original choice that I talked about. She's was supposed to be the original mother, but she's in a happily, as far as I could tell, in a relationship with somebody that she's cares about. So, and the fact that there's an issue with me selecting her because she's Native American with some people on Earth means that I can't get with her because there'll be an issue there. So I have to tell her, hey, mama, I'm going away. So the next selection was her. In my stories, you heard me leave her behind in favor of her. But now with this new story that you're learning, I have to now leave her behind. So it's like, Anthony told his mama, hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to be a big star someday. So she's got to take a back seat now. And then this is my selection, Tate. So it's like, Johnny told his mama, hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to be a big star someday. So I have to take that out of the way. And then this is Grandpa. So Johnny told his mama, hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to be a big star someday. So I got to take that one out of the way now. And then we're left with this one here, the new one. So Johnny told his mama, hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to be a big star someday. She's the only one that has the name Sterre or Star. So Mama came to the door with a teardrop in her eye. Johnny said, or Johnny King said, or Anthony King said, or Anthony the Chief said, don't cry, Mama. Smile and wave goodbye. Don't you know that you are a shooting star or shooting star? Don't you know that you are a shooting star and all the world will love you just as long as, you're not the top 1%. Who are the top 1%? So watch that. because you'll learn what this is really about. The whole world will love you, Sterre, because you're not the top 1%. Those other ladies, they are. You represent the 99%. And you can watch that if you want. Like the 99% occupy America. Like the top 1%, they basically own the entire planet, and they're rich. So Sterre's not. She's not from the 1%. She's average, everyday or average citizen like the rest of us. So don't you know, Sterre, that you're a shooting star, and all the world will love you just as long as you're the 99%. So now we got to listen to 99 Red Balloons by Nina, because it represents her being an average citizen like you. And that's why I'd have a greater success with her in terms of her spirits, wanting to put good thoughts in her mind. Not to mention when you people hear her story and understand why grandmother and grandfather have selected her and both like her, because she's a commoner. She represents the 99% of the world who should be able to accept her as mother, because she's like you. Just an average, ordinary, everyday person who's not at the peak of fame, but is trying to get there by skateboarding and making videos. What that song's about. Now, that balloon is a representation of it from the Stephen King universe, which is about that, that clown that preys on children, or those aliens, those killer clowns from outer space that prey on children. As long as you are, a shooting star, Sterre, or 99 balloons. As long as you're 99 balloons, or you represent the 99% of the world, the whole world will love you. And that's a big red flag for me. It's what made the difference today for me to, follow my heart in pursuing you, because I have a greater chance of success, I think, with these clues. The world loving you, loving my choice, like I'm not pursuing the fame side of things, but rather just somebody who's normal. So, as long as you are, Star Wars. So this means Sterre Wars. So there's a war with stars, right? Like people who are in the top 1% versus somebody who's not in the top 1%. There's a literal war between celebrities and a person named Sterre. A war going on between them. So who would you choose? The 99? Would you represent the 99% or the 1%? So if we're successful, she could bring an end to the killer clowns from outer space who prey on children, like it. So, as long as you are, A New Hope, Star Wars, Sterre Wars. So you have to side with this new selection, Sterre, and protect her from these killer clowns from outer space who've come here to harm you, mankind. So as long as you are, Sterre, because Sterre is pronounced Sterre. So that means Sterre. That means like a star. Star way to heaven. It means that she's our way to heaven, or our way to paradise. So here's as long as you are. So after you listen to Stairway to Heaven, I've decided to put that there because there's two coffee pots at the beginning of the video. So right there. So that you're one of those because you're Starbucks. I'm the other one because I'm trying to create a coffee roasting business. So I'm asking for you to stand beside me in your hand in marriage. This is what I'm asking. See, because of the two coffee pots, and because there's one coffee cup here, one coffee cup there. That's you, the blonde waitress. I'm over here. I'm a ghost. Why am I a ghost? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 cars here. And there's burgers up here. These represent aliens coming here claiming that I'm something I'm not. Meanwhile, they're the guys who invented the burger stories. Who are these 3 cars? They're the boys in the bright white sports car, or the boys in the bright white UFOs. These represent nuclear fusion reactors. This is like a UFO. these boys here, the three boys are going to side with the UFOs. Who's the three boys? 1, 2, 3. So that one there is that car there. That one there is that car there. And that one there is that car there. And the burgers is, well, you know what the burgers represents, right? Burgers or stories. And I need somebody to stand beside me because every time I try to do this, I end up invisible because of these stories that have been fabricated against me. So that's you, Sterre. So next you put on Not a Bad Thing after you listen to Marry Me. Because it's a young man proposed to a woman playing a Justin Timberlake song. You rarely hear that. It's like something out of a movie. That's what they talk about. So you're basically watching a movie where I'm the young man proposing to my girlfriend, asking her for her hand in marriage because of the clues that you're learning about. So when you watch this particular scene or this particular movie, the marriage proposal is this here. Asking for, her hand, because of the coffee connection. And then we go back over here. So don't act like it's not a bad thing to fall in love with me. And if you look down here, there's coffee there, okay? And there she is there. So this is the end of the video. They're talking about they found them, right? So we don't know who these people are, but maybe you do. There's a big introduction. So this song is about me proposing to her, asking her for her hand in marriage. With that song, Marry Me. So this is Wish Upon a Star. My wish upon a star is that, she may not talk trash about me, and maybe her spirits in the brain will play ball with me, and I'll get what I want, which is somebody to stand beside me. But the investigation continues. So, Simple Man now. I want you to listen to Simple Man after that one. So we got money is an abstract human happiness. So who is no longer able to appreciate the true human happiness is completely dedicated to it. So, Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Yeah, well, take your time. Don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. Go find a woman and you'll find love. There's 4 women here. And from the looks of things, I'm supposed to end up with Sterre because she represents the 99%. This one here is famous, this one here is famous, and this one here is famous, and this one here is not famous. Who would you choose? And why? Based on what you've learned so far. So, you'll find a woman, you'll find love. So, and don't forget, son, there's someone up above. That's in the brain, right? Like up in our brains. Like I'm trying to connect to those spirits who are up above to try to convince them, hey, you girls, why don't you help yourself down here and try to make, Sterre not, think I'm a bad person, and maybe she could just rise up to become the mother of all creation. So, and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. So, I want you to listen to this now after that song, and it's called Story of My Life, One Direction. So, written in these walls, here's Olivia's clue here. Olivia, luxury cruise together. So, that cruise is she wants to get on that spaceship. And I told them people, don't go on those boats. Those UFOs, because they're just going to turn you into androids. So all she could think about is getting on that spaceship. So, written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain, but there you go there. So if I invest another 6 months in this relationship and it doesn't pan out for me, I could miss my ticket because I didn't focus on Sterre. Because all the clues I've been showing you. Let me go over here. So, written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain. So, she don't feel the same about us in her bones. The story of my life. I'll take her home. So I'm hoping to take Sterre home. This girl here, my love. That's the tree. I'm Santa Claus. Hoping to make her my love. So who is your love? So now we come over to here, which is this side here. I want you to watch Louis Capaldi, someone you loved. So they're holding hands, right? So it's like I'm going under this time, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. So I'm going under, like so I'm getting flooded out by all the water, man. I need someone to save me. I fear there's no one to save me. This this all or nothing really got away. So got a way of driving me crazy. I need someone to heal. I need someone to know, someone to have, someone to hold. It's easy to say. It's never the same. I kind of like the way you numbed all the pain. I'm going under, and this time there's no one. This time I fear there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of living got me, sleeping without you. So down here we got a what if, right? So which one of your senses do you think you could go without? Defend your choice in the comments. So out of the four choices I've selected, it's basically asking yourself, what would you do? Basically, that's what that means. Um, I noticed something over here. Yeah, here's that. Um, on repeat. So the savings repeat because I'm trying to get this girl to save me from drowning. I can tell that you're going to put this song on repeat because it's going to touch your heart. At least I hope it will, Sterre. So that's what it means, on repeat. Um, does you understand that I need you? So this here's next I want you to watch Lilo and Stitch. Oh, there she is again. Okay, so a shooting star. So you would have known that when you're watching this. A shooting star means her, but now you do because of that song, on 6 and 10. So all I wish for is a friend, like a best friend. So she makes a wish for a friend. That's me making a wish for a friend in her, like a best friend. And this is near the end of the video, like here. See, he's like, Stitch bad. Sometimes family isn't perfect. So, you know, I've done, some bad things, but I've admitted to them in letters to the community and letters of a book that I wrote that's uploaded to Squarespace. I talk about it, openly whenever I can, behind the scenes here, and, on my behind the scenes movie. So I'm honest. That's what he's referring to. Like, I may not be perfect, but I'm honest. So Stitch bad. Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. So I'm not perfect, but doesn't mean that I'm not good. So then she kisses Stitch. So I'm hoping that's gonna be us. So the hunt continues. So this basically means I'm still hunting for clues. So here we got the wish. Okay, now I want you to watch Wish after Stitch. So this is like founded with a king the power to grant wishes. So I can grant wishes, right? If you know. So I looked up at the stars to guide me, which means I looked up to the stairs to guide me. Her, because that's her name, Sterre. So there she is looking at the star, right? Oops. So I look up at the stars to guide me. And there's a star. There she is here. And she's looking up at a star, which is her. Because that's her name. Look at the stars to guide me. Last night, I made a wish on a star. Okay, that's last night. So, it's Sunday, July 19th. So, I made a wish upon a star, and the star answered. So, my wish is that, Sterre, you'll DM me or get a hold of me somehow and say, hey, Anthony, I've heard what you had to say on YouTube. I'm gonna, sit back and I'm gonna listen to all the facts of what these people have to say, what you have to say, and then I'll let you know my decision. But to let you know up front, I'm really interested in what you have to offer me. Say something like that. that'll comfort me. You know, and if you want to say, if you want to start as friends, we could start chatting as friends. You know, that's my wish, that you do that. And the star answered, and he answered me back. So this one here is girls like you. You can watch girls like you if you want. You know, when I come through, I need a girl like you. So that's it. That's the end of that story. So when I come through, I need a girl like you. So um, but there's another song I want you to listen to that I didn't put in here. We're gonna do I want you to watch this one, Sterre, because it's about you. Okay, a sky full of stairs. That's what it means. And so when you see that wall there, it's gonna say, I have a dream. It'll be written in blue. I have a dream. That dream is that you get a hold of me so that I know that I'm not alone here. So that's a sky full of stars. Okay. After you watch the sky full of stars, I want you to watch um, Yellow. I think it's called. They do another one called Yellow. Let's see if we can pull that one up. Oh, perfect. We got this one here. We're gonna look at it. So, because you're a sky, because you're a sky full of stairs. That's what that means, star. I'm going to give you my heart. I've given you my heart because I've asked for your hand, and as a companion to walk with me on the path of life. Because you're a sky full of stars. You light up the path. You light up the path in terms of that Amanda Marshall song where you saw the slingshot. That's Tate McRae, and then you saw the fish. That's Charlotte, and then you saw the hand on the boat. That's Olivia, and you're that thing under the water or the mermaid. That's why you light up the path. That's why I've shifted gears and I'm now changing stories and to focus on you. I don't care. Go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. You do. So, sky full of stars. I think I saw you. So, because you get lighter, the more it gets dark. I'm going to give you my heart. So, I'm turning a new leaf, and I'm going to try to focus on us here. As I'll be dating the phone, is what I mean, man. I just instead of dating the phone with Olivia, I'm going to be dating the phone, but focusing it on Stare and try to develop a relationship with her spirit here on this planet, while also developing a relationship with her clone spirits across the 8 parallel universes, so that those clone spirits may decide that this guy's genuine. He does care about us, and I see all the clues. I didn't know that those are us. So why don't we be good to him and put positive thoughts in Stare's mind so that she could become the mother? So I'm going to give you my heart. Is what it means. So, the next one is Yellow by Coldplay. So this one is look at the stairs, right? Look at the stairs. Look how they shine for you. But in this case here, Stare, it means look at the stars. Look at the celebrities. Look how they shine for you. Shine means like your third eye is like, wow, I didn't know all this stuff was about me. You wouldn't know that the song Coldplay is about you, but now you do. And you wouldn't know that the song Yellow was about you, but now you do. Look how they shine for you and everything that you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. So that's my spirit coming along, writing a song for you, Stare, and all the things that you do. It was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what are things I've done? I took my turn in terms of like, I've invested 6 months into this path with Olivia, only to find that I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and I need to be working with you. So that's me taking my turn, your turn as well. So I swam across, I jumped across you. What a thing to do! So I drew a line. I drew a line for you. What a thing to do. So, you know, right here, you turn into something beautiful, and I bleed myself dry. For you, I bleed myself dry. That's referring to like a vampire. Okay, it means I'd invest myself in 6 months in the relationship so that you can see how committed I am in that relationship, which I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. But I don't think it's going to turn out the way I expect it to. So it means I take a vampire bite across the neck for you. Is what it means. Okay. Um, and get hurt because I've invested all that time and it's like I have to let go, but that's okay. I got you there. Um, so um, this one here it says it's true. Look how they shine for you. I think he says I love you. He does mention the word love in this one. You don't see it here. But when he says "I love you" right here, so I love you so. There it is. I love you so. So this is my first, my first time making the video. So it took me a while before I said that to Olivia. So I don't know how long it's gonna be, but is I'm making this video now on July 19th at 12:38. I'm I'm giddy to say the least. Like it's like a new relationship. When you get in a new relationship, it's like everything's new again. So that's where I'm at. I'm curious to see where this is going to go, but I don't know how long it's going to take for me to open up on that side of things, or I can begin using those words. But with that, I'm going to say, I hope to hear something from you, Sterre. I hope you enjoyed your story. Um, so I'm sure I think of something else I can put on, but oh, I got one for you. I want you to watch this one here, okay? So yeah, so I want you guys to watch this, The Last Starfighter, because that means the last Sterre fighter. She's a fighter. And I just been able to win with her. So the last Sterre fighter. So in there he's like, you really are leaving here, aren't you? And I want you, when he says you really are leaving here, you're gonna notice that there's a solar system there. You'll see the planet, and it's actually Saturn. So that Saturn connection is connected to her, right? It's like a skate marble. Okay, so that marble, that Saturn represents a bearing and with a ball bearing inside, or a skateboard. So you really are leaving here. You're going to see that planet or the solar system. Right? This is about you being a fighter, Sterre fighter. The last Sterre fighter is what it means. Now I want to close out with one more, which is just one. So he was a boy, she was a girl. So this is Skater Boy, okay? Can I make it any more obvious? So everything that you just learned it's pretty obvious that I'm supposed to end up with you and none of the other ladies. I mean, the Amanda Marshall one, that's a big red flag for me. So he was a punk. She did ballet. What more can I say? He wanted her. She'd never tell. Secretly, she wanted him as well. But all of our friends, they stuck up their nose. They had a problem with his baggy clothes. So that's all the ladies that I've selected. They don't really want to. They don't want to deal with the baggage that comes with having to be with me. So he was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." Or they all three of them said, "See you later, boy." Like Olivia, Tate, and Charlotte said, "See you later, Anthony." He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was up in space, meaning her head is up in space looking at these UFOs and wanting to get on those UFOs and go for a ride somewhere as opposed to, not doing that. She needed to come back down to Earth. 5 years from now, she sits at home feeding the baby. She's all alone. So she turns on TV, guess who she sees? So, it's me, right? So, uh, they've all got tickets to see a show. She tags along and stands in the crowd, looks up at the man that she turned down. So that show is this behind the scenes show that I'm making that I've been making for the past 7 years, I would say, and that nobody's gonna see for quite some time. So when I lose weight and I'm 100% pure, like it's gonna take me time to purge the water out of my body because I have to get gold pipes. I have to get gold pipes and I have to create a whole new system. I have to get that pipe drilled into the ground and have groundwater and then purify that water and then drink that water and flush all the evil water out of my body. Once I become 100% pure, you got to do the same too, Sterre. I'm gonna have to. If you get a hold of me, you're gonna have to do the purification process, and I'm gonna have to get a gold water system for you, where you do the same. You drill into the ground, gold pipe water. You have to drink that water every day, bless it. You gotta eat a healthy diet so that you can purify yourself. I should be able to rebroadcast the show that's being stored at the planet's core because that's my soul. Don't be surprised that one day you're gonna suddenly see me talking on your phones because of my ability to rebroadcast the show that has been stored at the planet's core, which is a giant magnet, like a tape recorder, and then just be broadcast using the Earth's magnetosphere to your cell phone devices. That's the show. Y'all got tickets to see Anthony's show. She tags along, looks up at the man that she turned down. So she said, "See you later, boy." He wasn't good enough for her. Now he's a superstar. Super Sterre. Sam on his guitar. Okay, so sorry, girl, but you missed out. Well, tough luck. That boy's mine now. We're more than just a good friend. This is how the story ends. Too bad you couldn't see the man that boy could be. There's more than meets the eye. I see the soul that is inside. So, in the previous video where I said she wants me to explain what's going on, and she sees how I'm broken and bruised. So she sees the soul inside of that. I'm a good person. So, that's what the song is about. You winning the Miss Universe contest. So, after you listen to Skater Boy, how about we do I always like to close with a love song. So we do do the hero. Next we do this one here. I always play this one because it's one of my favorite songs. It's like we don't know each other, so I want you to listen to that, Sterre, because we don't know each other, but you're gonna hear her say, "Feels like we are floating high above the stars." So it's a representation of us flying high above the stairs. That's me. That's you. We don't know each other. Heartbeat means like stop stealing my heart. Means you've stolen my heart today with this story. Hopefully, I can steal your heart when you watch the story, and we can begin this journey together. So, heartbeat. Stop stealing my heart. Feels like we are floating high above the stars. And then I'm gonna close with Hero. There's the other one. He does another nice song, so I want you to listen to that last, Hero. He says, would you dance if I asked you to dance? Would you dance, Sterre, if I asked you to dance? Or would you run, never look back? Would you run from, what you've been taught and never look back and stand beside me with spirituality? Would you cry if you saw me crying? Would you save my soul tonight? You know, this little mermaid. So, would you tremble if I touched your lips? Would you laugh? Well, please tell me this. That would you die for the one you love? So, hold me in your arms tonight. So, basically, that means, you know, I'm pursuing Jaden. That avenue was shut down. This other avenue that I pursued, I think it's shut down. So now I'm pursuing you. So, I've basically been unalive twice, and I'm hoping this third time with you is the one that stands there forever. So, I can kiss the pain away. I will stand by you forever. So, anyhow, would you swear that you'll always be mine? Or would you lie? Would you run and hide? Am I in too deep? Have I lost my mind? I don't care. You're here tonight, so. The investigation continues. There's a little bit more to this story that I'm letting on. At some point in time, I'll see where it goes. So first, I got to see what she thinks about this whole thing. So I'll do an update after she hopefully gets a hold of me and see where we're at with it. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed your stories there. Till the next episode, mankind. I just like doing that one, so you guys might have put that on too. My next one is we got some I'm gonna do an update on these advanced railguns that I've been developing here, an advanced engine. So you guys can put that on for your next episode. So the next video I'm going to talk about tomorrow is going to be about increasing the speed of these railguns. I think I could get them up to 144,000 miles per hour. And then once science looks at them, they can review my scientific facts. So I'm going to discuss railguns tomorrow. Tomorrow's video. It's nighttime, Sterre, so good night, Sterre.